This week's episode of Diggnation is brought to you by GoDaddy, Netflix, Gamefly,
and EA's new video game, Sky Mall. You thought flying was fun.
Welcome to Diggnation.
Also potentially hazardous to your health.
All right, moving on. Why do you have flies in your freaking house? I noticed this earlier.
It's Southern California and I have fruit.
You put zombie and you put eerie in the title, and I don't want to do it. Diggnation.com.
Hello, welcome to Diggnation, episode number 197. I'm Alex Albrecht.
And I'm Kevin Rose. Diggnation covers some of the...
I was like so creepy there for a second.
That was creepy. Some of the weekly hottest user submitted stories on the social news site, dig.com. That's dig.com.
Very nice hotel, Kev.
Thank you, sir.
Very, very, very nice.
Somebody told me to stay here, and then they were like, we want to upgrade you to the poolside room.
And you were like, yes.
And I was like, yes, that sounds good.
So we're very excited. We Michelob is hooking us up again with some more of the sampling pack, the spring sampling pack, which is all wheat beer. But if you don't like wheat beer, try this anyway, because I'm not a big wheat beer fan, and most of these have knocked my socks off.
First of all, the honey wheat this is my favorite out of the pack.
Today we're drinking honey wheat, which is a crystal Weizen, as we learned. So this, if you head over to Michelob.com, you can actually see us tasting. God, look at that. So they don't put the yeast in this. They don't leave the yeast in, so that's why it gets crystal clear, even though it's a Hefeweizen type of beer. So if you head over to Michelob.com, you can actually check us out with Christy, right?
Yeah, Christy.
Christy,
the brewmaster.
Brewmaster from Michelob, getting us all up to speed on these, and then you can also follow along. And if you want to follow along, you can buy the six-pack comes with all 3 of the varieties, minus the Hop Hound.
Right.
12-pack and 24-pack come with all 4 of the varieties, but you can also check out, if you go to the website and put in your zip code at the top, it'll show you where you can go to get it. So cheers. Here's to a nice sunny Southern California day.
Absolutely. This, I have to say, the reason why I like this one the most is because they use clover honey in these.
No, they use orange honey.
No.
Yes.
Clover.
No, orange.
Are you sure?
Yes. I remember from the
tasting. This is the
tasting.
California honey.
California, it was...
Florida orange blossoms.
Orange blossom honey.
And California.
Yeah, but orange blossom honey.
Orange blossom honey. Orange blossom, that's right. So it tastes...
Where were you at the tasting?
No, it tastes amazing, does it not? It's very sweet, and here's the way I put it. I was talking to a friend yesterday about this, off camera, because we were shooting this thing, and I said, this is the perfect beer for someone that is like, oh, I don't know if I like beer. And then, sure, try this. Because
are you not a beer person?
She's not a big...
I'm not a big beer person.
Try that.
She's not a big beer person. Give it a shot.
And you can even say that you hate it. It's just our sponsorship.
That's silky smooth.
No, honestly, what do you think?
No, I think it's nice. It's light. It's not like... The whole thing with beer for me is if it's heavy, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but it's very
light and sweet.
It's like, it's a nice sweetness, but it's not too sweet.
You realize your ass is in our shot right now. That's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. It's okay.
Oh,
Our viewership just went up.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, director.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There you go.
So clearly,
the viewers
check
are like,
it out.
That's a good ass.
That's some good ass. Sponsorship. Sponsored by Lee Jeans. Anyway, so do check it out. Head over to Michelob.com. Check out all the info. And let's get into the show, shall we?
Yes, let's do it.
Good lead-off story, as always. Playboy posts unedited back issues online for free. What? 3,451 people dug the story, submitted by Adir Leadercharn 82. Yes, free. Though what threw me off is that there's no age verification required. Somebody's doing construction work outside, so don't worry. Wonder how long before it takes for people to ask to change that. So you click on, if you go to playboyarchive.com, oh, women, it launches this, like, archive viewer. It's actually really cool. It almost looks like maybe done in Adobe Air or something. Like, it's very slick, you know, it's very like ITV. Isn't Adobe Air the new Flash type of thing?
It's for standalone applications.
All right, well, I didn't know it had to be. Anyway, so it's all these old Playboys from like the 50s, which, by the way, are my favorite kind of Playboys, because it's totally like what you saw when you were a kid and you're like, oh my God, that lady has no shirt on. I think I might love this magazine.
Right.
Right? But they have all those weird, freaky ads. Like, look at this. Chick holding shotgun on a scooter.
Scooter.
Advertising for Honda scooters. Like, really? in the 50s/60s, that was how you're going to advertise a scooter. Look, you can ride it with your feet and shoot people.
I don't know why people are freaking out.
She's loaded.
Is that what it says?
But I like this because it's fun to go back and see like the campy, is that Robert Goulet? Oh my God, that's Robert Goulet.
Were they as hardcore? Were they
Goulet.
full nudity back then?
I didn't see any super nudity. Oh, it's Silverlight actually.
Was there Bush action back then or no?
No, because back then it was non-Bush, period.
No Bush.
Yeah, because it was like
It was Bush
shaved,
times.
And then it went to no shave.
No, that's not true. It was not shaved.
Wait
in the 60s.
a second. Everybody calm down. I'm looking for...
Organic then.
Right.
We're all into all natural. No,
Right, but this is Playboy. Playboy was the less risque version. You know what I mean? Here you go.
I'm sure if I know. That's awesome. See, they were not shaved.
Well, hold on. We didn't see that yet.
They don't have full nudity. They cross their legs here because they're hiding the motherfucking forest. I'm serious.
I don't know why I'm now researching this. I was like, well, technically I need to find this information out because I feel that I could answer this question as soon as I...
Ask your mom.
Ooh, exhilarating elegance.
Ask your mom. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to go.
That's
Mom,
horrible.
By the way...
Did you remember reading Playboy in the 50s?
In the 50s?
For fun?
What was the style back then?
Old Hickory. Bourbon. I love it.
All right.
Anyway, great ads. Check it out if you are of age, and if you're not of age, there's no age verification. So don't go.
Yes. Okay, next story of the day. Congratulations, Playboy. This one with
That's
3,000.
the next story. We did 2 Playboys.
No, 3,234 digs. Ninja. Trent Reznor announces new free EP. Download the free Ninja EP, which is exclusive unreleased tracks from Jane's Addiction, Nine Inch Nails, and Street Sweeper.
What? How did they get Jane's Addiction unreleased tracks?
You get Ninja, right? Nine Inch Nails / Jane's Addiction.
Oh, I see.
Ninja.
Yeah.
So they're touring with them. They're going to be on an upcoming tour with Jane's Addiction and Nine Inch Nails.
So, are you allowed to talk about your fun time last night?
So, yeah, totally.
Yes?
So,
somebody sweated bullets because he got an email from somebody.
This is really crazy. So, this is like ultimate fanboy moment. So, I'm on Twitter a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Back when we were in New York for Jimmy Fallon.
Was that when it was?
Yeah, because you called me as soon as you landed.
Oh, that's right. I wasn't that bad.
I'm sorry. You were like, oh my god.
No, I was like, oh. It wasn't like the
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't
the full blown.
Yeah,
it was kind of a half.
You weren't scared by a ghost. You were just nervous.
So I tweeted out that people should be following Trent Reznor because I looked on his profile and he had at the time, now he's like insane followers, like over 100,000. But at the time he was only like 10 or 15,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
And he just didn't publicize it. He didn't put it on his site or anywhere
I didn't know
else,
until you told me. Actually, Heather found out about it. Heather was like. She told me, she goes, do you know Trent Reznor follows Kevin? And I was like, what? I didn't even know Trent Reznor was on Twitter. And then like 20 minutes later, you called me.
Right. So what I did is I had sent out a tweet being like, everyone needs to follow Trent Reznor while you're not following.
That's probably where she hit it.
Well, he saw that, and he was like, oh, Dig, I know Dig.
Right.
Because of my bio, he followed me, and I'm like, holy shit. Trent's following me, right? And he's only following 40 people. Not in a creepy
stalker way, like I'm going to Pizza Hut and he's always there.
Right.
Like Twitter following, which is good.
And so I was like, oh shit, well, I just sent him a message and like, hey, big fans of everything you do here at Dig, blah, blah. I sent him a direct message on Twitter because it was like the private messages. And then he sent back and he's like, hey, good to hear from you. Like, here's my email, blah, blah, blah. Like, we should connect up.
Bro, mind-blowing.
And I was just like, holy shit, this is Trent Reznor, right?
And he lives in LA.
He lives in LA, right. So I just didn't think anything of it. I'm like, next time there's a show and something, maybe I'll hit him up and figure out if anything can ever happen.
Like he's in San Fran doing a show.
Right, exactly.
Like, hey, I'm at the show.
Right.
I'm the guy in the back, 12,000 deep.
Exactly. So I sent him an email. I was like, hey, Trent, I'm in LA for a couple days. If you're down to meet up and chat about whatever, tech, or because he's a big geek.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there yesterday. You were with me.
I know, so
and
weird.
I was like, we were about to shoot this show. And I pull up my email. I'm like, holy shit.
You're like, he says come by tonight.
Because he's like, come by. He's like, here's my address. Come hang out. And I was like, fuck. Like, how can you not say yes to that, right?
Got to do that.
So went over to his house, drove up there. Mm-hmm. I don't want to go into the man's personal life, house stuff, but I mean, really, really fun hanging out with him.
Yeah.
Got to see his studio.
Oh, that must have been mind-blowing.
I'll have to say the coolest thing, though, 2 things. One, he is a total geek.
Yeah.
It's not just BS. It's not some other guy talking for him. It's not some publicist.
Right.
It was like two guys sitting down, chatting about BitTorrent.
Yeah.
What he thinks about free music online.
Yeah.
Like all the different technologies that he uses. Like he's like an iPhone geek. Like he's into all this stuff, and he understands it all. It's not just, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You think of a lot of these celebrities, and you think like, oh, they got some geek behind them that tells them like, oh, you need to sign up for Twitter.
Yeah. And you're like, what's Twitter?
Yeah, right, exactly. No, it's him on Twitter, right? He's got his MacBook Pro sitting there chilling, like he's got all this stuff up.
That's cool.
He agreed to do a Dig dialogue as well.
That's awesome.
So we're gonna tape him when they have all the Dig community vote up their favorite questions, and we'll get to ask him anything that they want.
That's awesome.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
He's gonna be a great guy to have do that because
no doubt.
I think he's really after hearing you and your conversations last night, it sounds like he's really connected.
Absolutely.
Into what we're doing, what the space is, and all that stuff, which is great.
Yeah. So anyway, this story is just about him releasing another free EP.
God, another free EP. Did you ask him how he makes money? I mean, did you ever sit him down and go, "Hey, Reznor, Mr. Reznor.
Well, I think that...
What are you free? Everything's free, which is awesome, and I love it, and I don't want him to stop, but I also, my little capitalist heart breaks a little bit for him, and I'm like, broham, what, you're money on the table.
Look at it this way. One, he's still selling records from the old days, and he brought a lot of revenue that way.
That's true.
Also, think about the fact that he does touring, right? So they make a lot of money touring.
And if you give away free music, more people are likely to get the... Actually, it's really smart because what I've heard is that the record companies take a big chunk of the music sales, but they don't take a chunk of the touring sales, and that's where most musicians make all their money, is actually touring. So there is...
We'll have to ask him about that on the Dig Dialogue if that question comes up. But one of the things...
Wait, we'll just ask him that.
What?
I'm digging it right now.
Nice. You're going to submit it and dig it?
I did already.
I'll ask him a question.
If
you have a question, like, let's do it. Or if he's down here, you should come out with me and hang out. And do the little thing. What? You wouldn't want
That would be awesome.
Okay.
What do you mean?
So what was the other thing I was going to say about that? Yeah, that's it. That was exciting. That was fun.
Dude, blow my mind and blew your mind.
So it is him on Twitter. Do follow him on Twitter. Trent_Reznor at Trent_Reznor on Twitter. And
love it.
Cool tweets.
All right, next story. Colbert wins NASA Node 3 naming contest. 3,309 people dug the story submitted by the Power Digger. Colbert urges viewers of his Comedy Central show, The Colbert Report, to write in his name, and they comply with 230,593 votes. 39 votes, whatever. The Colbert, it clobbered Serenity, which was the NASA's choice, by more than 40,000 votes. So the new name of the small galaxy just discovered, or group of stars, Node 3, is now called, officially, Colbert.
We need to get on this.
Yes!
Next time there's a naming contest,
do this?
We need to make sure that the galaxy is named Diggnation.
Oh, dude, done.
You know what I mean?
Talking about? Yeah.
Like, we could totally take on Colbert.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to say easily,
dude,
but
he got 230,000 votes between Dig and our podcast and our tweets.
That's
we
true.
can take him out.
That is true. We should do a Colbert fight. He'd like that.
But when's the next? Let's wait until he tries to attack something else where he tries to use the power of his community.
All right, but then I'm not gonna lie to you. If we throw our hat in and go, watch this, and then we lose, it's gonna be like, you won. Damn it.
Well, we can try, right?
Hey, no harm in trying.
We've got a pretty big audience.
I know,
I think it's going to be a battle, right?
Let's do it.
At least it's a battle. If we lose, we can say, Colbert, you are the master. He's a badass. So if we lose,
he's
who cares?
awesome. He plays the president in Monsters vs. Aliens, the new.
Oh, really?
We're reviewing it next week.
Playing after him too, Eric Colbert, right?
Oh yeah, Eric Colbert.
Got all that stuff.
Bro, why aren't we should be named? Stuff should be named after us, like
I don't know
some sort of new car, the Diggnation mobile. I'd buy it.
Yeah. Ford's like, that's a brilliant idea.
Brilliant idea.
We're like, oh, damn it.
Damn it. It's literally called the Diggnation mobile.
Right.
It's actually only an Italian.
I think it's a horrible idea. But anyway.
I like the idea of doing a challenge.
I
Colbert
agree.
tries it, we jump in.
So next time Colbert throws the gauntlet on something, email us and let us know, or we'll find out and we'll do something.
We'll try.
Yeah.
We'll try our best.
Sweet.
We'll do our darndest. Colbert.
All right. Next story from...
well, before we get to that story...
No, we have two stories left.
We have one more story left.
Is it my story last story?
It is a story. But the reason why is because we had a chance to sit down...
Oh, that's right.
...with the man of the hour, Adam Carolla. So Adam Carolla, I don't know if you... I'm sure you guys know. Loveline, The Man Show, was hosting an amazing morning show here in LA, but also out to 13 other what do they call those things? Stations, syndications, whatever the hell they call it. Which is the Adam Carolla morning show, which was great. The station here in Los Angeles shut down, so Adam has been doing a podcast, a daily hour-long podcast, just called The Adam Carolla Show. You can check it out on iTunes or I think it's called the AdamCarollaShow.com or AdamCarolla.com, CarollaRadio.com, something like that. Anyway, it has exploded. We're here in Los Angeles, so we thought we would sit down and hang out.
Yeah.
Chat a bit.
Let's
see
take a
what's
look.
going on. So let's take a look.
I have an asteroid named after me.
An asteroid?
Did you buy one of
Yes.
those star kits? You know what I'm talking about? Where you get to name a star for like $99, you get a plaque.
Or
and
is
you
it
get to hang
actually an asteroid?
No, I did not do that. I had my assistant do it. Just totally different, because I want to use my name. No, I had a guy who was an astrophysicist over at like Harvard or something, who was a huge Loveline fan, actually name an asteroid after me. And I
awesome.
thought, it is awesome until it collides with the space station, and then I'm a huge dick. If you
You're
think about
that Adam Carolla.
it. Yeah, you're the one
Holy
that took out-
crap!
you're the one that hit Texas and then blocked out the sun for 2 million years. I didn't know it was that, Adam. I was going to cause a nuclear winter. That was a different
Man.
guy. Oh, it's the Man Show guy and the guy caused the Holocaust?
Same guy?
Same guy?
Wow, and that's you?
That's all I'm saying. Is
That's
it
a bad
seems
way to
like
start
an
a date.
awesome idea for Colbert until one of these things
Yeah.
takes out Louisiana,
Are
and
you a
then we
space
got a
guy?
problem.
Are you a space guy? Do you like space
I
exploration?
have a goddamn
and-
asteroid.
I
named
know,
after
but
me.
that
Of course I'm a space
I
guy.
know, but that doesn't make you a space guy. That's like saying I have some carbon filter in my water bottle that's named at the Adam Carolla filter, but some guy named it.
Everyone's tuned out now.
I
They
know,
don't
I
know
know.
what you're saying. No, I'm not
Now, are you
a
a
space
space
guy.
guy?
I don't know anything about space. All I know is I have an asteroid named after me, and I'm convinced it's going to hit the shuttle at
Okay.
some point. Yeah.
Well, the good news about that is at least it wouldn't be like, Alpha Drades 3.4 hit the shuttle.
Right.
Adam Carolla hit the shuttle.
Yeah.
That would just spin up a whole bunch of controversy, right? I mean, because it would be
Well,
like,
he has
did
a
Adam
whole-
Carolla get shot out of something?
He has a whole
And
galaxy named after him, right?
that might be what
Yeah,
Net
that's
3
what-
is.
It's not. It's not like one individual star, or it's the whole galaxy. These things are so easy to game now, though. It's like
Space
anybody
module.
can go out there that has a microphone and say, like, vote for me, and all of a sudden you have your own galaxy.
I'm also.
Why don't you do that?
I'm like such an intellectual lightweight that like people will go like, you know that star you're looking at? Yeah. That burnt out 2 billion years ago, and I go, did you see National Treasure 2? Because I thought it was better than the first one. Like,
I agree with
have
Book of
nothing
Secrets.
to say.
Right,
I my head should explode, but I don't. I'm looking at something that died 2 billion years ago,
Right.
and all I can think about is Nick Cage in a pyramid.
So it was awesome hanging out with Adam. We really appreciate it and look forward to watching your show. He's doing crazy numbers, dude.
Yeah, I heard his podcast is just insane.
Insane, insane. All right, before we get to the last
Sponsors.
story, let's do the sponsors. GoDaddy.com makes it easy to customize your own virtual dedicated server. Choose one of 3 popular plans, or select your own Linux or Windows server, and with all the plan options you need. Plus, enter the code DIG1 when you check out and save an additional 10% off your entire order. Some restrictions apply. See site for details. Get your piece of the internet. GoDaddy.com. Also, you can find all the GoDaddy.com promo codes for all the different shows at Rev3, revision3.com/GoDaddy.
Netflix, thanks to Netflix for sponsoring this episode of Diggnation. With Netflix, you can rent over 90,000 titles online, including lots of Blu-ray titles.
Tons.
With free shipping both ways to your home. They now have over 40 shipping centers, so all deliveries happen in normally just one business day.
That's nice.
Netflix plans start at just $4.99, and as a new member, you can get a no-risk 2-week free trial membership. Make sure to check it out at www.netflix.com/Diggnation, and please remember the www.
Are important. Please remember the www. Gamefly is the largest online video game rental service and offers you a choice of over 66,000 new and classic titles across all consoles and handhelds. With plans starting just $15.95 a month, Gamefly members can rent 1 to 4 games at a time and keep them for as long as they like. There are no late fees, no due dates, and shipping is always free. Once you're done with the game, you can send it back to Gamefly. They'll send you the next available game on your list. If you really like the game, you can click like it. By that I mean keep it on the website, And for a minimal fee, you can keep that copy of the game, and they will send you the box and manuals gratis. Diggnation fans get a 2-week free trial when they go to www.gamefly.com/Diggnation. Summer sticker supply, see stuff for details. I love that all of our sites say that.
Yes.
Also, check out Co-op.
Yes, I do want to talk about Co-op for a second. Have
Okay,
you
talk about
watched
it.
Co-op?
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's good.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I watched it before. It's the guys from One Up Show.
Right, but
Yeah.
it's really good.
Yeah.
Like I don't say that about everything, and I think this is a really good show on Revision 3. So check out Co-op, revision3.com/COOP every Tuesday. If you're into video games, they're doing coverage over at the GDC that happened recently in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I think Co-op is going to be an amazing show for Rev 3 because it's good shit. Like I watched it, I was like,
they're good peeps.
It's finally like you know me, like I don't play a ton of video games,
right?
But I kind of like to be in the know when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
And like I was sitting there watching, like this is entertaining, it's shot well,
yeah.
And these people know what they're talking
right,
about,
yeah.
and they frame it in a way where I'm like, okay, I would actually go check out that game. You know
right,
what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, I just thought it was
not
good.
if they don't like it.
Right,
you know
exactly.
What I mean? Cool dudes. Well, shall we get to our last story?
Yes, last story of the day. 1,765 people dug the story, submitted by Jeff Fredson. Goodbye, Google is the title of it.
What?
It says, without a person, well, I won't even read the quote. I want to get into the story. So the story is basically a blog post that is done by Doug Bowman.
Okay.
Now, Doug Bowman is...
Educate me on Bowman.
Okay, Bowman is a very well-known, one of the top, in my mind, one of the top
design guys?
2 to 3 web designers on Earth. Okay.
Wow, okay. So I got to call this Bowman character and have him redesign some sites for me.
You'll never
Bowman.
get him to do your stuff.
Oh, I'll get him.
I doubt it. But you can try.
I will try.
So he's done. He's done. I mean, I can't even tell you what he's done. He's done everything from he did the original design for Blogger. He did the original design for Wired. He did the original design for Hotbot. He did the original design for WebMonkey. He did the original design for Lycos, the style guide. Like he's done everything. Like this guy is he's pretty much like
So
the
I
badass of design.
can't get him.
Right. So basically, what he did is that Google approached him a while ago, like a little over 2 years ago, and said, "We want you to be something new at the company. We need a kind of a lead, it's called visual design lead at Google."
Smart.
And so the idea was that
Google Video needs one of those still.
Right. So they have all these engineers.
Yep.
They get a little geeky at times, and they
Technically,
want to
it works
introduce.
very well.
It works technically. It works very
Technically,
well.
it works very well.
But they want to get some creative people in the house and like change it up and like make it a little bit more breathing and fun and like you know cleaner.
Like the themes that you can have now in Google.
Right. So basically, what happened is he signed on for the job, and now that 2 years is over, he said, "I have to leave."
Oh, wow.
And he explained and outlined a little bit of the reasons why he left the company and some of the issues that he saw there.
Okay, what are the issues?
The issues are that, well, I'm just kind of taking his whole...
Paraphrasing, I would. We're not news.
I would highly recommend going and reading the article because I won't do a good job as he did. But basically what happened is he said there's just too many engineers in the mix.
Makes
and
sense.
they want to test everything. So let me give you an example. They were trying to decide on a shade of blue for the website. He picked a couple different shades and said, I like this one, you know, kind of like, let's just go with this. A lot of design, I feel personally, doing a lot of this stuff is done from the gut, right?
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
And so Google said, you know what? Let's not, they couldn't decide. We don't like that, we don't like that. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna write a program that allows us to do, now normally you hear of A/B testing, which I'm a believer of. You do test something versus something else, you compare the results to say this performed better.
Right, yeah.
Not only, they didn't A/B test, they A, B, C, D, E, F, they did 41 shades of blue in order to find out what the proper shade of blue was for the website.
That's stupid.
They tested 41 shades, like using algorithms and like finding what the highest click was and all that. Can you believe that?
That is so stupid.
Then he said he had a recent debate over whether a border should be 3, 4, or 5 pixels wide. And then when he was like trying to say, oh, it should just be 3, they asked him to prove his case. They're like, well, you must prove your case.
Yeah, prove why is 3 better than 4?
Right. Because it looks better?
Yeah.
He goes, I can't operate in an environment like that.
Yeah, right.
I have grown tired of debating such minuscule design decisions. There are more exciting design problems in this world to tackle.
Wow.
But then he goes on to say, I cannot fault Google for their reliance on data.
That's true.
You know, they've been a successful company, blah, blah, blah. No one can argue with that. But it's just like basically, and he didn't. This is part one and part two, so he hasn't released part two of his blog post yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's really fascinating to get a little insight of like, because you're talking about all these engineers that are so like they sometimes you just gotta fire from the gut, you know.
Yeah. And that's not engineering.
That's not engineering, right? They want to test everything and like, and I worry that long term, Google needs to have more of that. They need to have more of the just like.
Here's the weird thing about Google. Google was always the broke down version of internet search. Like when Google came out and it was like, wait, it's just a search box? There's nothing else? Like just a search box? And it says Google and this sort of really crappy logo. That was part of the mystique. That was part of the thing that made it go, well, this is good because it isn't overly designed. It isn't, you know. So I feel like it can still sustain with like, the calendar looks like a calendar. It doesn't look like a pretty calendar. It looks like freaking square boxes with numbers, but it works really well. But I think as going forward, it could do with a graphic overhaul. If it got a really good, like really fatty Web 2.0 design over all the functions that Google has, it could even own the world more than it does.
Right, I agree. I just think that there's certain things where.
But I don't think it needs it to keep going in the direction it's going.
No doubt. But I think that there's something nice about a little bit of style, you know, and a little bit of cleanness and just like
nice fun icons.
That's one of the things actually I heard about this news of him joining Google a couple years ago, and I was actually kind of excited.
Yeah.
Because I remember we were talking about The Office, and we're like, oh, cool, let's see what Google come out with, you know, and maybe they'll redesign a few things and make them look a little bit more slick.
Honestly, I like the themes in Gmail are pretty big. I mean, that's
the themes are mostly done by third parties, though, right?
But whatevs.
Yeah, but I hear you. It's
better. I mean, there weren't these before. It was like one color, monochrome. On certain monitors, you can't even see which is red and unread. You know what I mean?
But I guess that this, not only from a design standpoint, but I guess this plays into like, one of the things I see that is difficult at startups as they become larger.
Right.
Dig and other companies and friends of mine that run other companies that I've talked to.
Right.
Is that as you bring in more people to the company,
right,
more process comes into place.
Oh, of course.
Some of it is needed because more people equals like, unless there's process, there needs to be a little bit of order to the chaos.
Right.
And then
it's not just the one guy you go, hey, could you make the button for the thing that we need? And he's like, sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Here it is. And you're like, thanks.
Right. So
it's like, what's the team say?
Right. So the problem, the thing that I always try and push back and try and recreate at Dig, and I even need to continue to do a better job at this, is that you need to not always sit back and analyze the numbers. You can't always say like, well, let's look at the data and spend the next 2 weeks. It's like, no, let's just build something, get it out there, release early, release often, and iterate. And that is like the only way you can survive against a scrappy startup, because otherwise there's going to be companies coming in that don't care about spending 3 or 4 months like trying to figure out something perfectly.
Right.
They're just going to get out there, test, and they'll probably kill you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a tricky balance to strike as you become a larger company.
All right. Well, my helicopter's here, so we should.
We should get going.
We should get going pretty soon here.
All right. I'm done with that story.
Yeah. Airwolf just came to pick me up.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Bro, I want Airwolf so fucking bad.
So do I.
I would do a lot of things to get Airwolf. Things that I'm ashamed that I even think about doing right now.
Like what kind of things?
Nothing I can talk about.
Yeah.
But it's Airwolf.
That's right. You'd be like, I hurt in the bum, but Airwolf is awesome.
I wasn't going there, but Airwolf. So, email.
That was horrible.
I know, you did it. Email, what do we got?
Email, you know what I hate about Gmail?
What?
I get signed out when you sign in, so two of us can't stay signed in at the same time.
That's not true, because when you sign in, my PC understands that I could be at 2 computers and never signs
me
me out.
No, it's Google that signs me out.
Bro, you are constantly being signed out on your computer. I am never being signed out on my computer.
Well,
right?
Because you sign in second.
No, because I sign in second.
Exactly.
All right, Airwolf is circling. Come on, let's
Here
do
we
it.
go. This is from Taylor. He says, hey, Kevin and Alex, I'm a huge fan of your show. I can't get enough. Recently, I just traveled around Europe, and I knew I couldn't travel Europe without you guys.
You brought the cubies?
So I brought you guys in CubeCraft form. Here are 2 pictures from when I was in Rome. One of them in the Roman Forum, and the other at the fountain. I hope you guys enjoy them. So take a look here. Loading. And
a lot of blue sky in that picture.
Loading.
What's that?
That's just loading. Okay, there we go.
That's not just loading.
Awesome, man.
Oh, dude, I love it. I love that this started happening.
Isn't that sweet? It looks like you photoshopped those in almost.
Did he? I think he did, dude.
Are you serious?
Brothers, well, I don't know.
Yeah, because look at, they are a little pixelated.
Well, but he's a little pixelated too.
Well, let's look at the second
Look at
one.
the second one.
If you Photoshop these in, it's brilliant.
It is brilliant because it fooled Kevin.
Hold on.
Yeah, do the big zoom.
I'm zooming in. Hold on.
Wait, scroll
Okay,
down.
there he
Okay,
is.
sun's coming in this way.
He's a little pixelated. Sun's coming
He's
in
bright.
that way.
He is a little pixelated here.
Yeah. I don't know, dude.
I don't know.
I don't
There's
know.
no shadow on
What do
this
you guys
side.
think? Do those look like he photoshopped those little dolls in? See him sitting next to him?
Yeah.
You think so?
I can't see that close.
They look real bright compared.
That's what I was gonna say. Let me see it again.
Because you think there would be a shadow on him, right?
I think they're.
He probably photoshopped himself in front of the whole thing.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Well, if you
know what?
did Photoshop those in, good for you, sir, because that's awesome. And if you didn't, then we are the brightest cubes ever to see the world.
It's weird to me that he's not holding them, right? Because would you set them next to you and then just smile?
I might.
No, you'd hold them.
No. I might set them next to me, to be like, look, we're all just chilling here. We're friends. I might have my arm around them.
See the feet? They don't look like they're stable. Like, how can those things not tip over?
Or blow away.
Yeah.
I think it's Photoshopped.
I think it's Photoshopped too.
But good for you, dude.
Yeah, good for
And
you.
good for you for picking it out before we read it on the show. I love it.
That was the. I'm gonna let that one go. You're like, I love it.
I love it. Anyway, well, if you want to have your QB Photoshops read on the show, please feel free to send your emails, dignationfans@gmail.com. Well, that is it from sunny Southern California.
Hey.
I am twitter.com/Alex Albrecht and facebook.com/Alex Albrecht. What up? I did the thing you did
I
right.
am facebook.com/Kevin Rose. Add me there and you'll get updates on Facebook if you're a Facebook user, or twitter.com/Kevin Rose. And add yourself to wefollow.com Twitter directory.
Correctamundo. We will see you next week. That is it. So long.
All right, honey wheat.
We're on to our third beer. It's a specialty wheat beer, so we add a lot of orange blossom honey.
Now, what would orange blossom honey be?
Well, if you're from the Midwest, then you might be more familiar with clover honey, but if you're from California or Texas or Florida, then you probably have had orange blossom honey, just because we have oranges and that's what the bees like.
Same process as we talked about with the shock top as far as adding like the lime and stuff. So you actually pour honey into the vat?
Add honey to the brew kettle, and then we also add it later to the process to give it that touch of sweetness, and so we can really smell the aroma. And this one is filtered, so it's a crystal Weizen.
Tell me, what is crystal
You
Weizen?
can
What does that mean?
Smell that honey.
A crystal is just the German word for clear. Wheat beers are typically left
beautiful that
unfiltered,
is.
naturally hazy, but some then
You
are
can smell
filtered.
the honey
Yeah.
big time.
Really gives that citrus aroma. I'm gonna wait so I don't dip my nose in
The
it.
suds taste like honey too.
Oh, wow. That literally tastes like drinking honey beer. I wonder why they call it honey wheat beer.
Oh my gosh.
That's really
okay,
good.
this is my new favorite actually.
Still get the flavor of the wheat.
I mean, it really is just pure honey goodness.
Yeah.
It's like,
Now this I could see making a float with.
That's a great idea. I haven't
Yeah.
tried a shandy with honey wheat. That's
yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Add a little vanilla bean ice cream,
Why
little honey wheat
wouldn't
beer.
I? Dude.
I just did that.
Bro, it makes itself.
I know.
You don't even need to be there.
You can have it with your waffles. But this one has a higher body, so it's got a 13 bitterness for the hops, but you don't really taste that because you've got the sweetness from the honey.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So, yeah.
I could pour this.
All of that's in balance.
You could do a lot. You could put this in Honey Nut Cheerios.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
Honey Nut Cheerios. What up? I
How
love
awesome
it.
is that? This is amazing.
Yeah, this has now become my favorite. And the weird thing is I thought the Dunkelweiss would be the creme de la creme. I mean, when we had it at Michelob, it was like,
Well, the thing is, they're all different styles, though, right?
yeah.
It's not like you can say like, well, you can compare them to each other, but they're all different, and I don't know.
This has Cascade, Willamette, and Hallertau hops, and so does the Hop Hound that we're gonna
Cascade
Yeah.
Willamette? What's
all right.
Cascade Willamette?
There are varieties of hops. Cascade and Willamette are grown in the Pacific Northwest. So this has, lower amounts than you're going to find in the Hop Hound. So you're really going to smell the aroma from the hops when we have Hop Hound.
Now, I'm going to say, from talking to you, it seems like I'm not a hop guy.
Sounds like that.
That is the possible assumption. So I'm a little nervous about something called Hop Hound.
It takes a little bit more experience. More experienced beer drinker would enjoy the hops, but that's
you know, that's why I'm excited to see your facial reaction to the beer. But I'm excited, so let's try that one.
All right.